So you submitted 7 million and now you're recording 10 million plus 900, almost 11 million. Where is it coming from? President Tinubu has not complied with the Electoral Act, therefore he should be disqualified as the APC candidate.
Dr. Jaja, did I get you correctly?
First thing first, with the rumor that is flying around right now all over the country that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is knocking off or is withdrawing from the...
It is fundamentally because Tinubu does not need Nigerian votes to be president.
Dr. Bati, I feel like crying this morning. General Uba in the bush had low battery. He had low battery. And he made a message out that please come and save me. General Uba was never saved.
A general in the Nigerian army.
Brigadier General. General Uba was never saved. The next thing we heard was that the bandits got him.
As the president, who is going to be competing in the same election, is the one appointing the INEC chairman, we have a problem. Amupito is behaving just like the one before him.
Nigeria today stands at a critical crossroads. The nation is confronted by worsening insecurity, widespread loss of lives, economic hardship, erosion of public trust, and deep social anxiety. Millions of Nigerians are struggling to survive with skyrocketing inflation, unemployment, multiple taxation, and declining purchasing power, while insecurity continues to threaten livelihoods. Council is deeply concerned.
2 years are gone. Half of your constitutional mandate spent navigating the stormy waters of reform, resistance, and rising hardship. You came to office promising a renewed hope agenda.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not just come to your office to make all these promises. He came to my street, he came to my city, he came to my area to make the promises, and it was publicly recorded.
The North aligned with the East in 1959-60. We know what happens. In 1979, the North again aligned with the East. Ekweme, Shagari, we know what happened. Now, the Southwest is aligned with the North, and we are not getting the best either. So, the problem is policy, is governance content.
This is to tell you that hardship, hunger, and corruption has no tribal mark.
Bola Tinubu, 2 years are gone. Half of your constitutional mandate spent navigating the stormy waters of reform, resistance, and rising hardship. You came to office promising a renewed hope agenda, telling Nigerians that the pain would be temporary, like that of a childbirth, and that joy would follow. But 2 years in, the cries have grown perhaps louder, and many now wonder, when will the joy come? Inflation surged, food inflation went to an all-time height, transport costs were tripled, and the average Nigerian now spends more of their income just to eat, as if they are lucky. Petrol is hovering over 700 naira per litre, and electricity tariffs have risen even as supply is still very erratic. And yet, the Nigerian people, resilient, loyal, enduring, have held on. But holding on cannot be the national plan. You promised to lift millions out of poverty, create thousands of digital jobs in 24 months, and double power generation. These were not poetic aspirations. They were campaign commitments. Mr. President, time is not on your side. You have just 12 months before the political season begins to whisper again. If ever there was a time to show the fruits of sacrifice, it is now. You are the president of both your lovers and your loudest critics, the hopefuls who sang your name at the polls and the skeptics who prayed you will fail. But leadership demands maturity of mind and empathy of heart. You now preside over a fractured but hopeful nation. Good people, bad politics, and an ugly economy. Nigeria today is at a historic inflection point. mismanage these opportunities, sir, and we risk descending into a cycle of unrest, disillusionment, and regret. But if you rise, Mr. President, to the moment, and you could become a defining leader, one whose name is etched in gold as a man who brought Nigeria back from the brink, you must ignore sycophants who clap in darkness while citizens cry in daylight. Mr. President, please urgently surround yourself with thinkers, doers, and patriots, not just loyalists. Every day must count. Every decision must deliver value. Because when a nation suffers this deeply, there is no luxury of time or ego. No more excuses. President Bola Tinubu, we in the media, we will do our own part. We will question, probe, inform, and hold you accountable, not out of hostility, but out of duty. The opposition must also rise, not just to criticize, but to push this country forward. Civil society organization must now organize, awaken consciences, and be the voice of the voiceless, and our people must now stop being docile. We need to raise a mass of active citizens who are willing to fight for their nation and also work hard for its good. Citizens, your voice counts. Don't lose it. And for those of us who believe and who are people of faith, we will pray, as scripture commands us, for the peace of the land and the success of its leaders. Because President Bola Tinubu, your success is Nigeria's success, and your failure will be our shared tragedy. Nigerians will rally behind you if they see sincerity, action, and result. But never forget, fury awaits any leader who mocks the pain of the poor. Sir, history is watching. Posterity is watching, and 200 million Nigerians are watching.
The INEC chairman, I used to work with INEC chairman. I'm a lawyer. He's a lawyer. We were both working on the same House of Reps committee on reform of Nigerian laws, 2015, under Dogara. Dogara is a speaker. Dogara was a student, law student of the INEC chairman. Both of us worked together. So I got information about APC, as at the time they submitted 7 million members. So you submitted 7 million and now you're recording 10 million plus 900, almost 11 million. Where is it coming from? We, as an association, we believe in the rule of law. So we're going to court to say that President Tinubu has not complied with the Electoral Act. Therefore, he should be disqualified as the APC candidate.
Dr. Jaja, did I get you correctly? You want to, sorry, Dr. Jaja, if I got you correctly, you want to take the APC up on its presidential primary. You are taking the APC to court on the conduct of its presidential primary.
Yes.
Okay. Why? I just need you to establish that.
We have written a formal letter to INEC under the Freedom of Information Act. Yes, because there's a discrepancy between the registered voter list they submitted to INEC and the number they are parading as the voters for the presidential primaries. And that is a violation of the Electoral Act. Therefore, President Tinubu is disqualified from contesting or standing as the presidential candidate. We are going to court. If INEC does not disqualify him, we are going to court about that.
And that's why you see, when President Tinubu said we will win, President Tinubu, yes, good to give hope, but it's hard to say we will win. The ecosystem is in tatters. I mean, look at the military officer, 109,000. Dr. Apathy, go no further. You were saying how they rescued the fighter pilot, was a colonel, was a redneck, top officer, colonel. You know what America did? America decided to blow up another F-15 Eagle, over $100 million. On the rescue mission alone, America spent close to $500 million just to get this man out. They sent 2 other planes, they sent an Hercules, they sent 2 helicopters, Pedro 11 and Pedro 12, to act as buffer shields to be able to rescue this man.
Rescue one man.
Dr. Bati, I feel like crying this morning. General Uba in the bush had low battery. He had low battery. And he made a message out that please come and save me. General Uba was never saved.
A general in the Nigerian army.
Brigadier General. General Uba was never saved. The next thing we heard was that the bandits got him. And they killed him. We remember how General Uba's wife had to cry that we let General Uba down.
Okay, we just expect government to be to do more. So the plan is not to discourage soldiers, Nigerian soldiers.
When President Tinubu says we will win, I'm sorry, but I don't believe him. You know why? They're busy about buying military platforms, big military platforms. They're not even thinking about the soldiers that are losing their lives every day. They're not showing like they care for them. It's all about signing defense contracts where people get to benefit, where people make millions. Leonardo, all the companies make millions. But we couldn't save General Uba. General Uba was from, I think, the 25 Strike Force, a very prominent team that had done a lot in fighting banditry. General Uba was our hero. And we let him down. And we all remember how this government acted around the story. At first, there was a lot of denial.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to say, because it's important, based on what you're saying, that we often come here to praise the efforts of our Nigerian military, and we emphasize the fact that we honor them, we respect them, that despite all odds, they still are encouraged to go out there to, to fight, and they do it. And so that's why we keep speaking up and advocating for better welfare for them, because sometimes they end up paying the ultimate price. Many of them know what they've signed up to.
The North aligned with the East in 1959-60. We know what happens. In 1979, the North again aligned with the East. Ekweme, Shagari, we know what happened. Now, the Southwest is aligned with the North, and we are not getting the best either. So, the problem is policy, is governance content. Until we face that, whoever has the greatest arsenal would defeat the other side. For now, the Yoruba Northern Coalition, they are sitting pretty. They've taken over everybody. They subdue South, everybody, based on the governors. But if you flip it over now, it's still the same mentalities in 1959. We cannot be doing the same wrong things and expect good results. But whichever side wins, just like in 1959, somebody pays a price. Akintola lost his life at that time too. This time, we don't know what will happen to. Even when the 1983 too, many people were detained, they were all, then coup came in, and so it's just a mess. I wish somebody would decide that this mess has gone on for over 60 years. Let us do voting based on content of policy, content of governance. Voting to just put somebody there, Mr. President, Your Excellency, GCFR, MFR, CFR, everything is just doing damage to society. But this time now, we cannot recover from it. Somebody has to come up to say enough is enough.
If I get you right, Doc, what you're saying is that regardless of whatever tickets the opposition throws up, and they go up against the incumbent government, even if they win, we should not expect any substantial or remarkable difference. Is that
in fact, it will cause the greatest damage to the polity, because it's on. I mean, let's do raw. I don't sugarcoat it. It's assumed what we have now is the turn of the South, turn of the South, turn of the Southwest. If Obi and Kwaso had to come in and obliterate the Southern second term, the war between the Yorubas and the Igbos will go to the nearest, to the highest level. That, the Igbos connive with the North to cut out Tinubu. But Tinubu is not performing. No saying Yoruba person will defend Tinubu. But this time next year, if it happens, we will be playing with Rwanda. between the Igbos and the Yorubas. That the Igbos will machinate, will make effort to uproot what is so-called Yoruba price. It's not deserving, it's not worthy, but in the streets, people should think about the implications of it. And I'm worried about what will happen if an Obi gets northern support and cuts out Tinubu for a second term, which Yorubas wrongly, not meritorily believe is their turn. Something will have to happen next year. I don't want to think about it, but then whatever you sow, you reap.
Sir, let's interrogate this because it's a very delicate, but very interesting.
It's a fact.
It's a very interesting conversation we must have to educate the people. Part of what the media does is to enlighten, inform the people, because there are millions out there who are not informed.
Yeah.
And who are swayed essentially by emotions, raw emotions, sentiments.
Yeah.
Sir, and I'm glad that both of us are from the same part of this country.
Yeah.
In fact, more or less, you are from the part where my mother comes from.
Yeah.
So I'm half of you. Sir, how can the Yorubas, in all good conscience, claim that the presidency should come to them? Because in this Fourth Republic, 27 years, we have had a Yoruba president for 8 years.
Certainly.
We have had a Yoruba vice president for 8 years. Now we now have a Yoruba president again, doing almost four years now. Whereas in these 27 years, and
this is fundamentally because Tinubu does not need Nigerian votes to be president.
He does need it. He must get it.
No, he does not need Nigerian votes to be president. Tinubu needs judges and INEC to give him a result. If you need votes of your people to be president, he will not be, with profound respect, acting with this degree of irresponsibility and utter disregard for the worth and well-being of Nigerians.
Where there is no decency, no principles, things are just happening haphazardly and it's shameful. But the PDP is alive and well, believe it or not. You see, because the indication for me is what is going on in the field. We have, our structure is solid. After that National Convention of November 15, 16, 2025
in Ibadan.
In Ibadan, everything is in order. The only problem we have now is INEC that is giving recognition to people, our members that we have expelled. That is the only problem we have.
It's a big problem, isn't it?
It is a big problem. It is not a problem only for the PDP, it is a problem for the question of survival of democracy in Nigeria. It's a question of integrity of our institutions. Where you have INEC, the chairman, I said it before many times, I'm sure you know that, so long as the president, who is going to be competing in the same election, is the one appointing the INEC chairman, we have a problem. So that problem is there. So the INEC chairman has to be above board. Everybody has to sit. So far, Amupiton is behaving just like the one before him, satisfying everything that comes from the political party in power. It's not good enough. So that's a problem for us, but it's a problem for the whole of the Nigeria. And that is a terrible thing to do because the whole international world is watching. If you rig election the way you normally rig it before, you may have Trump coming to get you in your chambers. You may disappear overnight.
You're using Trump to threaten the Nigerian state.
Yes.
That's what you're doing.
Yes. Everybody has to be careful. This is not the first time it's happening. International Criminal Court is there. So be careful what you do. The way they rig election in Nigeria, and no. It's not going to happen again. 2027 is going to be different. So everybody be on the lookout. What we are doing in the PD is making sure that we talk to members of the party. Look.
The fact that you have the US president, first of all, he was the one that told us about this attack. I could let that slide, because I personally think that the people who are victims don't care where the help comes. I understand the contradictions and our failure, but those people need some succor if the U.S. intervention will bring it, fine. But what I find worrying, personally, Prof, is that our president has not spoken at all. He didn't make a broadcast, you know, and I'm told that he didn't make a broadcast also last year. And then he has left the country, you know, about the same time without saying a word. And then Anthony Joshua got involved in an accident, and then the president made a call to Anthony Joshua and put it out to us. Now, I mean, I'm not saying the president shouldn't call Anthony Joshua. Of course, he should. But how come we are hearing from our president about Anthony Joshua and he's not telling us a thing personally about the fact that we have America sending bombs to our territory? No word, no explanation, no accountability. What is responsible for that, in your opinion, Prof?
If I give the answer that I'd like to give, you know, people may get excited, but I think it is fundamentally because Tinubu does not need Nigerian votes to be president.
Wow, but he does need it. He must get it.
No, he does not need Nigerian votes to be president. Tinubu needs judges and INEC to give him a result. If you need votes of your people to be president, he will not be, with profound respect, acting with this degree of irresponsibility and utter disregard for the worth and well-being of Nigerians. No. It is because at the end of the day, let us all be honest, what he needs are the judges and INEC. If votes counted, Nigerian politicians would not be as irresponsible, from the president down, will not be as irresponsible as they are to behave as if Nigerians do not count. Because for good or for ill, and I agree with you, you know, people, you know, I've spent most of my life working on atrocities and insecurity across the world, and particularly across the African continent. And when you look at the situation, you know, Sudan, in Darfur, for instance, or indeed in the north of Ethiopia, in Tigray, in Sierra Leone, Liberia, where we had the situation in West Africa, you know, in the last decade of the last millennium, the fact is people who are in trouble, or indeed in the Great Lakes of Africa, right? People who find themselves at the receiving end of a challenging situation do not mind where help comes from. I totally agree. But when that help involves something on the scale of a missile strike on your territory, you do expect that your president will be responsible enough to face his people and say, this is what transpired. And that, to not do that, to not think he owes Nigerians that, and to then leave the country. And while all of that is taking place, what happens? They issue a statement on a $1 billion financing arrangement for the so-called coastal road. They found time to do that. They found time to attend AO in Lagos. They found time to commiserate with Anthony Joshua publicly, but the president has not said anything about the situation. That for me is the most eloquent, as I said, of an Obi gets northern support and calls out Tinubu for a second term, which Yorubas wrongly, not meritorily believe is their turn. Something will have to happen next year. I don't want to think about it, but then whatever you sow, you reap.
So let's interrogate this, because it's a very delicate but very interesting.
It's a fact.
It's a very interesting conversation we must have to educate the people. Part of what the media does is to enlighten, inform the people, because there are millions out there who are not informed.
Yeah.
And who are swayed essentially by emotions, raw emotions, you know, sentiments.
Yeah.
Sir, and I'm glad that both of us are from the same part of this country.
Yeah.
In fact, more or less, you are from the part where my mother comes from.
Yeah.
So I'm half of you. Sir, how can the Yorubas in all good conscience, claim that the presidency should come to them? Because in this Fourth Republic, 27 years, we have had a Yoruba president for 8 years.
Certainly.
We have had a Yoruba vice president for 8 years. Now we now have a Yoruba president again, doing almost four years now. Whereas in these 27 years, an Igbo man has never even been vice president, let alone president. I don't even want to go back. That when was the last time an Igbo person even held president, whatever? So my question, sir, what right, legally speaking, does the Yoruba have to be saying somebody kicked them out and did whatever? Can you speak to this, sir?
On merit, APC government offshoot of Buhari, which Tinubu has accepted, has around the country aground. If we are sincere, we focus on policy and governance. But since everything in Nigeria is about raw emotions, I can understand how a Yoruba person who is not schooled will say, an Igbo man stopped whatever. Awolowo will not become premier. They will go back to 1959. Awolowo offered to the Igbos to be Minister of Finance. Igbos refused. Michael Kwara even said he will regret till his dying days for advising Zik not to form coalition with Awolowo. We have to go back to that history. So, if Zik refused Awolowo offer those days, and we are now in 2027, it takes an Obi to knock out, without premise, the entitlement of Yorubas to second term of presidency. It's a dangerous thing. I don't believe in it. That's why many of us will converse, Mr. President Tinubu, one term is enough. Live honorably, live with your prestige intact. Restructure Nigeria. I've said so on Arise News, where your sister station. October 1 is a good time.
You've said so here even.
October 1 is a good time. Give us a new structure where we focus on governance, we focus on policy, focus on power,
development,
focus on education, focus on road network, focus on security,
healthcare.
But if you continue this way, people will keep talking about primordial sentiments, and some Yorubas would like to go to Igbo of this world, will say, you are disgracing Tinubu by cutting from second term. We're never going to take it. Now, the Igbo is not getting 1 penny from whoever. We are not getting 1 penny from Tinubu now. But I'm speaking to people out there. Let's prevail on Tinubu. The solution to our problem now, to bring temperature down, is for him to agree to stay. It's not very easy. Let him do Mandela card. And from now up till October 1, we have the blueprint to restructure Nigeria into modules, so that we don't fight to finish, to take over Abuja and be borrowing money and be awarding 16 trillion naira contracts, because people have to be jealous. Igbos want to award their own contract for 50 trillion too. They have right to do it. If the North has done it, Fulani have done it, Yorubas have done it, Igbos have right too. And they will do everything to ensure that they have that right, unless they are no longer Nigerian citizens. That's the truth. Let's just open it up properly to appeal to President. In my own little reasoned opinion, the statesmanship situation now, Mr. Tinubu, you have amassed all the arsenal of Nigerian state into yourself. Now it's time to say, what is in it? What is in it? God has blessed you. What is in it? Put the process in motion now. We can get it done. October 1, new constitution. The next election will be modular. Will be 6 zones, not one president again. Let Yoruba go and fight among themselves in Yoruba land. Let the Igbos go and do the same. So that the presidency will be ceremonial head of state. But once you are still having this power, ultimate power, the consequences will be very grave for Nigeria.
Doc, I'm sure one thing you and I can agree on, and a few Nigerians out there who are informed, is that It's obvious now that the president will not take this advice.
No.
The horse has bolted already from
No, you can know. In all honesty, human beings, if he has the chance to listen to this channel, there's time for human beings to reflect. The prodigal son came to a point in the Bible. I'm a Christian. I know he's a Muslim. His wife will talk to him. Prodigal son came to a point.
The Donald Trump factor and the Venezuela experience is making the appetite of Nigeria politicians to die down. Even our president is not exempted. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is no longer sure of his fate come 2027 general election. And I will show you a video right now that look more or less like a confession. And you will see it because both locally and internationally, all the events that are being unfolded right now are not working in favor of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We all know that there was a publication in America as at yesterday or day before yesterday where Trump was pointing accusing fingers to Nigeria that this election, that they are putting eye down for Nigeria election come 2027, that election must not be rigged. And some other people actually came out that Tinubu rather give up than to push Nigeria into poverty and to put Nigeria into subject Nigeria into international embarrassment, because Trump is not backing down soon because of the antecedent of our dear president and the allegation allegedly drugs and every other thing that Reno Omokere actually, revealed years ago is no near end right now. And he is being advised to actually step aside. And this is what our president is doing right now.